Welcome back to you and to myself, because yesterday I landed in Chicago. I've been to Mexico. Welcome to class 7, ACI 6, and Bill will not join today because he got sick and he is sleeping right now. I think he had some food poisoning on the way back. So that I think he might be able to join tomorrow, and everything that he thinks is important, he will add tomorrow. Okay, let's start with a short meditation. Close your eyes, sit up straight. First, as always, you connect to the sounds outside, because in order to stop distraction, we need to focus on the distraction first. Once you focused on the noises outside, then make a decision that you let it go and you will not be following them. Bring your mind to your body. Feel life inside of you. Maybe your body feels comfortable, maybe not very comfortable. Maybe you are sleepy or had too much coffee today, alerted, anxious. Just observe. And think about your life right now. Maybe think about something that bothers you. Your biggest problem. And make a decision to use every single piece of information you will get today in order to stop your own suffering and suffering of every living being. Even maybe you don't know how exactly it will look like. And if you are an interpreter or a technical assistant of this class, then think about how cool is that you're planting unbelievable seeds, because you do not only listen, but you help other people to understand. To listen and to understand. Go back to your breathing, open your eyes. And I would like to start from the end of the class. I would like to start backwards, because it is related to the fact that I'm changing. Slowly, yes, sure. Because I'm changing the tradition, right? I'm not doing sashi, puki, etc., right? Even though it's usually the way I do it, because there is such a thing that unbroken lineage, and it's not directly related to the class, but I also try to bring every single point that was discussed with Geshe Michael related to these classes, to this course. And this was one of the questions he was answering. Why do you need an unbroken lineage, right? And what you can leave out, what you should keep in the lineage. Because, I don't know, you can write if any of you can comment if any of you is teaching ACI to other people, even if not formally, but maybe you try to convey the message. Maybe you try to explain to other people what you understood yourself. If yes, you can comment. Just put a plus or something, you know. And then probably you have seen many times that some people, they get it right away, and some people, they don't. I mean, at all. And there are some people that are like, sounds interesting, but I'm not ready to put that much time of my life to study it, right? Yeah, okay, many people, they try to convey the message. So it is very important to keep as many details as you can, especially if you didn't do your 3-year retreat yet, you know, or didn't get some important realizations, because we should not leave the major parts. And why it is important. These teachings is like, imagine, is like, I don't know, to how to build a car, right? And then you do everything right, except, I don't know, the main engine, right? Then even you have all the details right, that a lot of spiritual paths, they do have lots of details that are right. But what if the main engine is not working? Is there reason to build a car? Or maybe, and it was happening with every single correct teaching, right, in the history of humanity. Even the Lord Buddha himself was teaching in front of the large audience right away because of the human factor. Somebody remembered something correctly and somebody didn't listen or remembered less details. And then you have out of a sudden, like how many there were, 18 schools of the Vegetalists, right, by Bashika or Abhidharma. And I mean, if you build the car and forgot to, I don't know, to do what, to put the air conditioning in, you still can drive, right? You still can go, but or I don't know, like you cannot really lower down the seat, right? You still can go, even without a seat belt. You still can go, but you do not know what is important and what is not until you are at some level. So this is why it is important to either just share in the same way Geshe Michael was teaching, or I think you can teach the way we teach. It's pretty safe because we put special attention not to leave out important parts. Because just to teach what you understood, but leave out the parts that you didn't, is also dangerous. And what are the crucial parts? I mean, the most crucial part is emptiness, right? Because many other spiritual paths, they have teaching about renunciation, about kindness. The direct teaching about emptiness, I'm not sure how many other paths they have, and this is crucial. Okay, so I was thinking this was an important discussion in the Geshe Michael class. So now let's really do the class. class 7 is dedicated to destroying mental afflictions because we still follow the sutra, the Diamond Cutter Sutra, and we came to the part where the Subhuti reveals that he actually is a bodhisattva, right? And they talk about Trachompas or Arhats, and the word Trachompa, or actually, I don't know if we have slides, Artyom. We probably let me see. Okay, a little bit later. Yeah, that's about the prediction. So the word Drachompa is a word for Arhat, and it's somebody who destroys the enemy. And there are two kind of, we can stop the slides for a moment. So there are two, how to say, two meanings of this word. Word in Sanskrit first is an enemy destroyer. And the second meaning is somebody who was praising, who was prostrations. Why it is cool to be an enemy destroyer or an arhat is because you will not have any mental afflictions anymore. So you reach in your spiritual path, first you reach the direct perception of emptiness. Of course, there are other realizations before, right? I mean, they are related to the fact that you understand better and better how the reality functions. And second, related to the fact that you, if you follow the Bodhisattva track, which I hope you do, because in the same time, like with the same exact actions, you can become a lower Arhat or a Bodhisattva level 8 Arhat, right? Just if you think differently. If you train yourself to be a more compassionate person. So when they reach it, it happens at level 8. It's a big spiritual breakthrough. And it is based on realization of emptiness that you previously had. So when do we reach this level if we follow the Bodhisattva track? It's Bhumi 8, right? First Bodhisattva level starts when you first perceive emptiness. The last class was about it. And the level 8 of the Bodhisattva track is called the level of great mastery over things that will never grow, meaning mental afflictions. It refers to emptiness because it is uncaused and it's at the same time about emptiness and subtle impermanence, right? Emptiness does not grow, it goes in and out of existence. And subtle impermanence is the fact that every second, everything is changing, right? Goes in and out of existence. So you master this understanding of the things that that are not growing. And second, you overcome your backchecks of mental afflictions. These backchecks won't grow either. Like, so when you get it, you reach the 8th level of Bodhisattva. And you get a prediction from a Lord Buddha when you will reach your final nirvana. I mean, when you will get enlightened. So And interesting, I listened to Geshe Michael, and it's just my, of course, my thinking. It's I don't have any proofs of it, but if he tells you himself that he had the direct perception of emptiness, then you think, okay, he is somewhere between level 1 and level 10, right? After that, I mean, it's just pure logic. Then you think, okay, he teaches here level 8. Did he reach already level 8 or yet to come on level 8, right? So I was really attentive to catch how he talks about it. And he says that supposedly Lord Buddha comes and tells you. So he phrases it in a way that he didn't, but up to you. But what I know for sure, I talked to many people. I mean, definitely more than any of you who knew Geshe Michael in his early phases in Mexico. I met a lady who, and she agreed to give me an interview. She was in Harlem, New Jersey, in the Rashi Gempeling temple before Ken Rinpoche. So she was studying with the previous abbot of the place, of the Rashi Gempeling Kalmyk temple. And she was telling us stories about Geshe Michael being very young, that he was very reserved. He did not speak much, was studying. Like he was already an Arya, right? And he was very reserved, you would never know. And then out of a sudden, there was he started to teach, and some people could not accept it even because he was so modest. And then out of a sudden, he's a dragon, like flying and was all in fire and becoming a nationally famous. And some people, like, he should be modest. And for her, she said it was like a miracle. She really could follow that he had some breakthroughs in his practice. Yeah, so he does not say that, this is what happened, like the way he talks about how he had the direct perception of emptiness. But what he says is that you get to the level where you know that I will be enlightened on that day, right? And the Buddha comes, some enlightened being comes and makes a prediction. You, I don't know, Oля, Katya, Ira, Areta, this is the day, Claudia, this is the day you will be enlightened, right? Why do they come at this level? Because there is more or less certainty at this stage, because you have destroyed your main enemies, mental afflictions. So the question comes, okay, we should do the slide first. So because, of course, if you heard about emptiness, then you will have a question that, strange enough, corresponds to the first question of the homework. Explain the emptiness of a Buddha's act of prediction in terms of 3 elements, right? Does it mean that it's not empty? I mean, does it mean if something is happening again and again, it's not empty? Of course it doesn't. So the predictor, the object, and the act, all 3 of them are empty of self-nature, meaning they come from your seeds. The Buddha who is making the prediction is empty because he perceives himself as a Buddha, not because he's from his own side, but because of his past deeds. Same with you. you perceive this person as a Buddha because of your past seeds. Same for the prediction itself. It's empty, does not exist from its own side. And the fact that this is happening is because of your past seeds, of seeds that you have planted being a bodhisattva on the Mahayana track. And yourself, right? You also, of course, come from your own seeds. Then here, I think we should talk a little bit more about who the Buddhas really are, because there are three parts to it, right? I mean, for example, you have heard from Geshe Michael probably many times. We can turn off the slide so far. So we can... oh, I think the answer is not complete there. Yeah, that's okay. You will figure it out. So you heard from Geshe Michael and from us many times that if somebody really is a good practitioner, it is actually very much possible that somebody is sitting right now with us on this Zoom and sees every single face on the Zoom as angels, as, I don't know, minimum bodhisattvas level 10. Very possible. Definitely that's one of you, and you can guess who, or maybe everybody. So can it be the case that I do not perceive myself as a bodhisattva level 8 or level 10 and somebody does? Yeah, of course. Do I know how the reality functions? I don't know, for Artyom. Maybe he wakes up, you know, in his paradise on his lotus flower, and then all the day is glowing and nice and happy, and his happiness grows, you know, all day long. Very much so, right? What is the proof that it is possible that somebody right here, right now, among us, is having a totally different picture from mine? This is the proof. I'm writing, and the doggo. So is it difficult for a dog to understand that this thing is writing? So when the dog will write with the pen, this is you reaching enlightenment, more or less. Difficult, but possible. And this is the way. So you don't know actually, right? And then why it is such an important thing to understand about arhats is because this is one of the steps, one of the important steps. Okay, you see, Katya is writing that Artyom is 100% a technical angel. By becoming an arhat, not only you get the prediction, but also you lose your mental afflictions, right? So what does it mean to lose mental afflictions? It's pretty easy. You should understand what mental afflictions are. And this is why I love this lineage, because you have a definition of a mental affliction. Let's not just listen to a definition, let's try to feel it. This is my way of teaching, right? Close your eyes. Sit up straight. Now you will understand how you can live without any psychotherapists and coaches and consultants. And make several exhales, inhales. Imagine that you are observing your mind, like there is a part of your mind that comes out of it, and maybe visually it will be like a little bit behind and a little bit above. And there is a small part of your mind that is observing the main mind. And maybe you have thoughts coming. Some of them are neutral, some of them are pleasant, some of them are negative. Some of them are anxiety, some of them are depression. Probably if you're focused too much on your past, you have depression, regrets. If you are focused too much on your future, you have fears and anxiety. Now imagine that the day has come and you lost some capacities that you have right now. Bad capacities. You are not capable anymore of feeling anger. You have no seeds that are ripening for you to feel anger again. Cannot happen. No bakchaks. You have no seeds to be scared. Ever. Those bakchaks are completely stopped in your mind. Gone. You cannot feel guilt anymore, ever. No guilt. No shame. No sadness. No jealousy. Cannot get stressed out about anything. Cannot feel any anxiety at all. No irritation. Even cannot get bored with anything. All these positive things are stopped in your mind forever. Positive in the terms of opposite to emptiness. Coming from seeds. There is nothing that can destroy the peace and happiness of your mind anymore. Try to feel how it feels. Go back to your breathing, open your eyes. So the technical definition of mental affliction is any thought that destroys the peace of your mind. Meaning the nature of your mind is to be happy. when you reach nirvana is not that you reach anything, actually, is that you stop horrible things that make you unhappy. You and me. By the way, you can ask questions, because I remember myself, I didn't have a teacher near me to ask questions when I was going through these classes, and oh boy, I had a lot. So what is the path to stop your mental afflictions? Does it happen naturally? No. Naturally, what happens if I follow, I'm not a bad person. I'm just following my natural way of reacting. It's a downward cycle. You will get to lower and lower realms following your natural thinking process. And it's funny, I remember Geshe Michael was saying that you can really see what the desire realm is when you come out of it for a while. For example, after having seen emptiness directly, why not during? Because when we see emptiness directly, there is nothing else that we can perceive, right? First perception of emptiness, 100% of our mind is focused on this lacking of self-nature, right? On emptiness. So I was flying yesterday from Mexico City, and I watched two of my favorite movies. First was The Lord of the Ring, the first part. I was thinking, boy, this movie is constantly about the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, teacher, you know. And then for some reason, they didn't have the second part of it. So I had to watch my other favorite movie, The Matrix. And so same thing, Neo, he was selecting, does he want to see the truth, even it will not be comfortable to see it? And do you remember he had a very rough reaction when he realized what the matrix is? And and also when he selected to know the truth, Morpheus told him that you cannot explain to another person what matrix is about until you see it on your own, with your own eyes. And this is same with our desire realm. Geshe Michael says that you cannot see the forest if you are in the middle of the forest, right? To see what it means, actually, what kind of place you are in, you should see it from some other, from the distance, right? So, and the horrible thing about this reality that practically every single natural reaction that you can have here to get what you want is 100% opposite from what will bring you what you want. Moreover, if I follow my mental afflictions, I will get to meet it again and again and again. I will have to, if I yell back, then this is the only reason why I will get these situations again and again. And it's very difficult to stop, right? I mean, you work on a rough level, or on the superficial level. Okay, I don't yell anymore at people. But guess what? I yell at them in my mind, right? And I criticize them, and it also counts. I mean, the beauty of this path for me is it's never rigid. You take your first level vows, for example, right? Layperson vows. You promise not to do 10 bad deeds, right? with the next level, what happens, some vows will go into contradiction with it. For example, there will be a vow to break your vow out of compassion if it's necessary. And I mean, of course, there are restrictions, like you have to be a highly, highly accomplished being and would not see any other solutions, etc. So actually, it does not really apply to us. But even for high, high level bodhisattvas that can destroy their first 7 vows, the last 3 vows are not allowed to destroy, right? Which ones? Related to your mind. Even what we can imagine as a situation, like I break my vows of not using my idle talk, right? Not to have idle talk, because I decided to help somebody who is not really interested in these teachings. So I'm kind of putting carrots in front of them to bring closer to the teachings. And maybe I decided to comfort them by talking about useless things. I know they're useless, but I'm not for myself, I'm for them. So I'm thinking, okay, for this person, what will be the best way to help them, right? Or like a famous example, somebody is running after a person with a desire or intention to kill them, and you say, he ran right when he ran left, right, to save person's life. So the last 3 related to being happy when a person gets hurt, being unhappy when they get something good, right? And with correct understanding of the worldview, there are no exceptions for this, because there is no reason to have wrong ideas in your mind, right? So when it comes to your mind, there are no exceptions. You can help somebody with saying something that you do not really believe in, right? I mean, like you're not a fan of idle talks, you follow your vows, but you entertain another person and you think, okay, maybe I can help this person. Or I don't know, what else, like with lying, or even with pretending that you are, I don't know, you are rude because this person uses this language, you know, to help somehow, or to stop somebody from something bad. Even this is a possibility, but for high level bodhisattvas, not for us, maybe. So, and people come and ask, okay, so I can understand that natural reactions are bad, that they are the only reason I suffer. Good enough. But what if people are coming to kill me, right? To hurt me? Like, should I not answer to this? And that's a tricky question, because yes and no. I mean, in your heart, in your mind, you should not stop loving them and trying to help every single living being. Of course, you should protect yourself, but protecting myself does not mean I am yelling at somebody. That's not protection. Protecting myself is I should not get physically hurt. And I mean, even emotionally, maybe I will take a distance or something, you know, but we have more resources to stop other people's violence that we think. Example, imagine somebody is attacking you, I don't know, with a knife, right? And you have a weapon, I don't know, a gun. Let's think somebody is attacking you and you have a gun. And you think, oh, I have to probably shoot because I'm self-defending myself, right? Okay, another situation. You still have a gun, a person in front of you still has a knife, and this is your mom. would you do the same? Would you think, okay, I need to shoot another person who is attacking me? You would probably be much more creative, right? You would think, okay, can I take away the knife? Can I maybe push her somehow, you know? Or your kid, you know, not your mom, but your kid is, I don't know, took some wrong medicines or whatever and is attacking you with a knife. You see, it's much more subtle. It's not black and white. So that's the anger question. What is the ultimate? Now let's go back to where I start with not omitting anything anything important from the teachings. Like here, Nagarjuna says that there is no other method, like the main thing to stop mental afflictions forever, to become an arhat, is to understand the emptiness. If you do not understand where all this violence is coming from, you will not be able to stop your anger, you see? And if you stop your anger because you are a victim, you feel that, oh, I cannot really react with an anger because I am an ACI student, that's not it. When you stop your anger, you are being powerful. This is why you can stop your anger. And if you do not stop your anger, you are a victim of it, right? Let's make an illustration. Close your eyes, because I really need you to feel why we are victims of anger. Because for me, it was it took a while to get it. Some people, they romanticize the power of anger, right? Close your eyes. Do make 3 exhales, inhales. There will be a short meditation, only a couple minutes. Think about the last moment you got angry. For somebody, it was probably 10 minutes ago. For some people, half a year ago. Doesn't matter. The last time. And remember the first second of your anger. Try to remember this feeling when it's like a hot injection in your body. Boom, and you're angry. And now try to feel how difficult it would be to stop this machine, you know, this engine of anger when it is already ongoing. Try to feel that once it starts, you are being deceived by it, but that this is the only thing to do. That you really need to be angry, that you really need to act out of it. Now imagine you decided to stop it. It is very, very difficult. Because you're already a victim of your anger. You are not this powerful, angry person. When we are angry, we lose our logic. and we lose our capacity to select, to choose. Go back to your breathing, open your eyes. So that's about anger. If you do not understand that you are a victim of it, not a powerful person who is just happened to be angry, instead of happy, you cannot really stop it. You will not be motivated. So you must understand emptiness to stop it. Other stuff is just a temporary meme. Okay. I think we can go to the next question. So in this sutra, they talk about one very famous event that happened with the Lord Buddha. And by the way, I really recommend you at some point to read tales about formal Lord Buddha's lives. They're called Jatakas, Jataka tales, and this is an extra resource for karmic correlations if you are interested in, because there are 4 main resources that I use, and I do not accept other resources. But today I was listening again to Geshe Michael's class, and I realized that there is a 5th one. So the source number 1 about karmic relations is this one. That's a fancy edition of the All Kinds of Karma we brought from Mexico City, because the Diamond Cutter Press was selling books there. This is the first one. It's a sutra with the pictures. Second is The Crown of Knives, and this book is translated. It's not published yet by Diamond Cutter Press. It's a book Seiji was translating with Geshe Michael. But in ACI 14, you have a table, a spreadsheet, that summarizes the bigger part of this book, of The Crown of Knives. And you can look up karmic correlations there. Unfortunately, in ACI 14, the language was still not perfect, and some of the correlations are not really clear. The next book I recommend is The Diamond Cutter by Geshe Michael Roach, and the 4th is The Karma of Love. So Jataka tales are the 5th one. The 5th source you can look up karmic correlations. Okay, so this is the story that comes in the Diamond Cutter Sutra, comes from the Lord Buddha past lives, and he is talking about his life as a bodhisattva named Mr. Patience. He was meditating somewhere in the woods, and happened to be that the king was hunting in the same area, and his wife, the queen, she decided to just walk in the woods with her probably Frölins, with the ladies who accompanied her. So she bumped into this bodhisattva meditating, and they had a talk. She probably was asking about emptiness and spiritual stuff, and then out of a sudden the king comes, and he for some reason, is not thinking that they have a conversation. He thinks that something inappropriate is going on. So he decides to punish the bodhisattva, and she starts to cut his fingers, then his hands, then his toes, then his feet, etc. So, and the question is, we can have the second slide. Did the Buddha in his former life feel pain in his limbs when his limbs were slowly cut off by the king of Kalinka? Did he understood the emptiness of the three elements? I think it's not the right language. Probably it's Spanish. Okay, it's probably for the Spanish translator. I will tell you what was going on. Then okay, Italian. Thank you, Claudia. By the way, it was a great opportunity to meet some of you. Okay, maybe you have another version, Artem. It was a great opportunity to meet some of you, like I met Claudia in Mexico. So did he feel pain in this class? Geshe Michael says, yeah, he did feel pain, but at the same time, he never lost his correct understanding of the situation. So he kept focusing on the emptiness of the three elements, meaning he was thinking that the king who hurt him is empty and comes from his past deeds where he was hurting other people, and himself is empty, and the pain that he feels comes from his bad deeds. So the king, himself, and the whole situation overall, right? Each element has emptiness, meaning each was a perception forced upon him by his past deeds or karma. Okay, thank you, Artyom. I don't know how you did it. Thank you. Now it's in English. Okay, then the next question comes, right? Okay, probably we should stop here because when we talked about how we perceive other people, usually people think, okay, this is how I perceive him. Like, let's talk about the king of Kalinka. This is how he perceives himself. But what is he really is, right? What's in reality, he's what? So the thing is that there is no reality, real reality. I mean, things that I perceive as existing, that I can touch, I can smell, I can see, are all completely coming from my past deeds, right? And for the king, it's all also completely coming from his deeds. And there is no objective reality. So if let's think about teachers, right? By the way, one of the crucial elements that we should not omit in the teachings is that the way that you move on this path depends on serving the teacher, right? Like how you can see emptiness directly. If you will think about two crucial things that should never be omitted. First is realizing emptiness, understanding how the world functions. And second is serving your teacher, whoever they are. So then somebody comes and says, you know, I think he's not like about Geshe Michael. Geshe Michael, people would think that he invented, made stuff up. So what is he really, right? Did he really see emptiness directly? Was he a Bodhisattva level 8? Is he an enlightened being? Is he a Bodhisattva level 10, right? Then the question is always to whom, right? Because there is no objective reality for nobody. Objective reality is a self-existing thing that we deny. It is real in a way you perceive it, like the same way that if you break your leg, the broken leg comes from your mental seeds, right? But the pain is quite real for you, and the bill you have to pay if you get to if you will get a surgery is real, right? In a way it is functioning. You have to pay it, and you suffer. Your suffering emotions are real, and you really feel pain. So I will answer questions at the end. Okay, let me finish the story about the King Kalinka first. So the next question is, why didn't he feel any hatred at the moment? The Bodhisattva named Patience, the former life of Buddha Shakyamuni. Because, next slide, please. He realized that the reason the situation is happening is his past karma. He had to hurt somebody in his past, and he realized it. He was sure if he did not answer with hatred, anger, any negative actions, and even thoughts, then he will stop this from happening again. It will never ever happen again. Like those seeds are done if you just do not react. I mean, you do react by doing correct things, right? Instead of perpetuating suffering. So he chose to be smart instead of getting into violence. He decided to break it by applying his wisdom and his understanding of emptiness. So how does it apply to us? I think, and by the way, let me be honest, that was the worst story of all ACI courses. I hated it. I remember when I heard it for the first time, I was like, oh my God, really? One guy was on the cross, right? This guy was tortured and in our lineage, they teach us that you should be just silent and not react. But get this. This is the only way you can stop your suffering, is to stop you from being violent. Really. Because if people would see that and it's not only anger, right, that replicates itself, it also grows. If people would see that their moment of anger, especially at high karmic objects, is equal, I don't know, a nuclear explosion or anything, you know, like that, a war that is happening, they would find a way to, you know, to take a knife out of their mom, you know, instead of killing, right? They would find a way not to get angry. So the problem with our reality, coming back to what I told you before about the desire realm, is that we do exactly the opposite. We do naturally exactly the opposite from what will bring us results. And we do exactly what will hurt us in the future. Then what about let's probably do the next question, and then we will talk a little bit more about natural reactions. And by the way, these natural reactions is what keeps us in the desire realm. This is why we cannot go somewhere else in the better places where it's more pleasant to be. So they say that in the sutra, they talk about the think that Arhat's mind is also empty, right? That's a funny question, right? How does it relate to Arhat's mind? Next question, please. You do not have your thoughts. You listen to your thoughts. You do not make up your thoughts. You do not make them. You do not create your thoughts. You listen. So when you listen to your mind thinking, like, for example, I want to have breakfast, right? Like I'm talking about me right now. I want to have breakfast. Is it one thing, this one thought, or many things? Like, okay, with the pen, I get it. It has a top and bottom and other stuff, details, right? And my seat covers it, and it's a pen for me I can write with. But what about thinking process? Same. I want to have breakfast. When I say there's no breakfast yet. When I say breakfast, there's no I already. There's no want already. So the seat opens in my mind and covers the parts of this thought. And it becomes one idea for me, right? So just like us, Arhats hear thoughts in their minds. And due to their karma, due to their good past karma, none of these thoughts is organized into a mental affliction by their past karma. Because they run out of bad bakchaks, right? They have only bakchaks or seeds that are opening up, covering their mental process. I'm blah, blah, blah. Like, and instead of I hate you, they collect it in I love you or something, you know? So in a way, we are forced to see a pen as something to write with, and the dog is forced to see a pen as something to chew on. Normal people are forced to see their mental afflictions going on in their minds. And Arhats are organizing their mental stuff into totally pure. They cannot ever perceive again anything less than neutral. And then what is really the thought, right? What is it really? Is it good or bad? It's neither. It's blank. It's empty. And because of my previous deeds, good or bad, I can have my mind, I can perceive my mind in the future when I will reach level 8 Bodhisattva as totally pure. With mental stuff, same as with physical stuff. I have seeds, that's a chewing toy. I have other seeds, that's a thing to write with. I have beta seeds, I don't know, maybe it will be something magical, I don't know, magical crystal to, or like, you know what they say, the magic some magic stuff, or a stone that accomplishes every wish you have, right? So, okay, that was the last question of the class. Now I will answer questions, and there were several things that I was thinking is important to talk about, because Geshe Michael talks in this class, and I was thinking that's brilliant. First, he talks about people who do not understand these teachings. So get this: you can hear some decibels, right? It's just a vibration of the air. You can perceive it and understand, like translators, they all understand me. I hope. I don't know. Depending on the translation, on the quality of the translation. But you can talk to 10 people. Some of them will understand what you say, even they speak the same language. Some of them will not understand what you say. Some of them will understand half of what you say. This is why you have so many spiritual paths, right? People, they got something out of it, and they were not able to keep in the entirely the teaching, right? And then the students started to fight with each other. This is how it usually goes, right? So what if you teach to people, what are the two things that if they admit, they can admit karma? First is causality. If a person accepts that if this happens, there is a reason of everything. Let's put it this way, that there is a reason for everything. But you know, science also says that there is a reason. Then there should be a second part that will prove that will, if person accepts it, then you can teach them karma. Is that not only there is a reason, but good brings good and bad brings bad. Like there is a similarity in the actions and consequences. And then he was also talking about miracles, that after direct perception of miracles, he says that he forgot to mention that you have, you know exactly that you can do miracles and you know how. It's actually based on the fact that you can transform elements and you can do it fast because of your past good deeds. It's not that you overcome the laws of karma, it's that you can follow them perfectly. You can apply them perfectly, right? And I remembered right away Matrix I watched yesterday, and there was a moment when Morpheus and Neo were in a training program, and Morpheus says that you should understand the laws, the rules of this training environment, or your world, you can say to yourself. If you understand them, some of them you can bend, and some of them you can break. But only if you understand. Learn the rules well, then you can do something about it. So miracles are like that. Then I was thinking it's also very cool. He was telling a Tibetan fairy tale. Oh, I wanted to, because I have a book with this fairy tale. I will show you tomorrow. But it's very famous. It's about an old lady who asked her son, who went to India, to bring something like an artifact, you know, like some piece of, you know, of a body or of clothes of a Buddha or a Lama or enlightened being. So, and his son forgot about it. So on the way back, he realized that he already cannot get anything for his mom. So he has seen on the road a dog's tooth, and he's like, "Oh, I will tell her this is a enlightened being's, you know, part of the body, and she will treat it as sacred object, and I will get away with this." So he brings the tooth, and she puts the tooth on the altar, and she is praying. She has her face, so she is really treating as special. And at the end of the story, I do not recall already how it happened, but it really became that because of how she treated. It was some kind of a miracle that was done with this artifact. So when people, they ask like about faith, I mean, in the open teachings, we do not really emphasize it, especially for the Western audience. It's weird. So the open teachings is basically to understand deeply the logic about emptiness, about how the reality functions. But then the faith that is based on logic is such, like the faith in these teachings, in your teachers, is such that brings you blessings. And these blessings are empty of their nature. And this is why they're possible. This is why in the prediction, the Buddha can tell you, or you have 1 to 7 lifetimes, but you can do it, and you can do it immediately. And immediately in these teachings, meaning within 1 lifetime. Does not mean the same second, okay? Let me see if I forgot something. Or Geshe Michael also said that the forest where it happened is one of 24 holy places. So it probably exists somewhere in India. Oh, pretty good. So yeah, basically the emptiness of Arhat's mind is that you project a mind that cannot have any bad thoughts. Oh, yeah, I forgot something, the most important. How you do it practically. Your 6 times book. You keep your vows and you do the 6 times book. And this is how you will never meet an angry person again. I mean, I tried it. I was working for 15 years in a highly competitive, crazy, stressful corporate environment. When I was leaving my company, like people were crying I was leaving. And I was crying. I was leaving them. Just it was clear that I have to move on. I was changing the countries and other stuff. Does not mean I was not in burnout, but I loved everybody around me. Because if you project your mind that is pure, you cannot project an angry person. There are also 2 states that I think it's very important to talk about. It's about low self-esteem, about depression, about difficult moods, you can get in. And actually, I would like to know if, oh, no translation. If somebody can translate, please, please tell us, then Artyom can assign you. Okay, Artyom, could you please assign Ola? Then it's another day she can do the French. Done? Okay. Okay, so what I was talking about is that the way that you make it happen is by doing your 6 times book. This is how you get rid of every single person in your life who was irritating and unhappy with you, hurting you. And I can prove it's true because I was working for 15 years in highly competitive, crazy, stressful environment in my different pharmaceutical companies and clinical research organizations. And when I was leaving, I was crying because they were such beautiful people, and they were crying because I was leaving, and it just had to happen because I was moving on with my life for something else. So there are two important states that I think it's worth talking about, and you can comment if you have it or not. That is, these two states can be difficult to overcome because these teachings, they change so much, your life so much. It means that you will get emotions, right? Because every time something changes in the environment, we have an emotion in our mind, right? Either something leaves us or comes and we want it or don't want it, and we call it different emotions. Like, for example, disgust, I have something I don't want to have, right? Or like conflict or anger is I want to change something, or interest, I want to come closer, or sadness is when something leaves me without me allowing it, right? So stuff like that. That important for us are depression and low self-esteem. So please figure it out. I will not tell you what are the karmic correlations, because you will think, okay, I know everything, and you will not work on it. But actually, you have a task. Research and destroy all your old karmas that are leading to your low self-esteem and depression. Find these correlations in those 5 books. Somewhere you will get, you will see the correlation. And one more source can be ACI 5, results of 10 good and bad deeds. One resource. Because those two are thoughts in your mind, nothing else. Yeah, I think I covered everything. Okay, so how can I stop angry thoughts in my mind right in the moment when they are taking place? Just try to remember emptiness of 3 spheres at that moment. I would say it depends on what the moment is. If you are not yet angry, but you feel that it is coming, the chance is very high that you can stop. If you are already angry, it's exactly the same. Imagine you have fire going on in your apartment. One thing is that if you just realize that you didn't turn maybe the oven off, and it may be some kind of problem, or you left a candle with the, a candle, and it can cause fire, or you come into the room when the fire started already, right? Or when it burned almost all the apartment, different stages. Or you think to purchase a candle. That's even easier, right? Just don't bring anything that can burn your apartment. So this is with anger. If it's already burning, then you have to put water in it. You have to do something to stop it right away. And the best thing is just gracefully, elegantly, but quickly go out of contact with the person you are going into a fight, right? Not to plant any seeds, any bad seeds. Then if it's in your mind, then you can do the logic with your mind. You can do the angel and devil battle in your mind, right? And for some complicated subjects, I would even write down, okay, the attacker says that, blah, 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 blah. Then the defender says this, but, you know, once you do this logical schizophrenia in your mind and you make it two different parts of your mind interact with each other, you actually get out of the external conflict, you know. Then you talk to yourself at the end of whatever happens. At the end, you will not be that angry anymore. If it's almost physical or in the presence of somebody, sometimes you need to get out and walk or run or do some physical exercise, physical movement, because the anger energy is energy. I remember myself, like probably 10 years ago or less, I was even running upstairs and downstairs because I realized that if I will spend some energy, then it will be easier for me to manage what I feel. Like I was running upstairs and downstairs. Maybe that could be one of the solutions for you. Yeah, the permanent solution is to realize that everything that happens to you is because you did something in the past. And I mean, you can be angry. It will bring more anger in your life. Or you can put to rest every single mental affliction that you have. It's not easy. With anger, the easiest is when you train yourself, try to stop yourself again and again and again. And then the more you do it, because you are planting seeds every time, the easier it is to stop yourself after. Like, I remember me listening to these ideas, I was like, I'm not really interested in it because the seeds will grow at some point in the future, and I have my anger issue right now. Like, what should I do? Nothing that you can really do right now. You can stop yourself from hurting yourself in the future. This is what you can do. Stop yourself from hurting yourself. And the more you will try, the earlier you will hear the alert. You're getting angry, you're getting angry. Attention, attention, attention. And then also when you do the book and meditate, it helps dramatically because you have like the whole room where you can decide whether you get angry or not. And the time comes when you are at the edge of getting angry, and for the first time you are able to decide not to. And it's like a miracle. You're like, wow, I didn't know I can really stop the anger 1 second before I got into it. You're just like, no, not interested. No, not going there. And you can choose something else. This is why it is important to try to stop yourself. Even you cannot do it right now. Even if it will not help you today. For sure, it will help you in future. And then the day will come where you will hear the noise of the train coming. It's not there yet. You're not smashed by it yet, but you hear the noise and you're like, no, not going this way. Lots of ideas will be in ACI 10, I believe it's 10 or 11. And one of the most crucial ideas to stop your anger is to watch your mind to stay in happy place. So it's not that get out of, sorry for my French, shit, but not to step in. So to find your happy mind, find the situations when you can keep it, and work on keeping it going instead of digging it out. You see, it's easier to maintain this naturally happy state of mind that to get it out of help. What if I'm jealous unintentionally and someone sees me and understands it's wrong, helps me stop being jealous, and it helps them? Does it mean my jealousy helped other person? Yeah, it does. Your jealousy can help another person, especially if you have an intention to tell another person about your jealousy because they will benefit from it. That was the reason why the first True Healing launch was so successful, because people would come with their problems and they didn't want to talk about them, but they decided to talk about them because they were hoping that it will help another person. Of course, it's and because of the seeds, it can be pure, impure, or half-half, like a little planted something good, something bad, right? Usually this is what's going on. Okay. Close your eyes. Think about the fact that you listen to 1.5 hour long class about stopping basically your mental afflictions and planted seeds for it to happen in the future. And especially if you were a translator or a technical person on this Zoom, then be happy about seeds that you have planted. Because this is the only thing that can change this world for the better. And decide to, even maybe you don't know exactly how you will use this knowledge, but just make a decision or wish to use it to help every living being, because it makes your karma much, much stronger. And it doesn't take anything from you. You cannot really lose your karma once you plant it. Go back to your breathing, open your eyes, and see you tomorrow for ACI 6 class 8. And this is one of my favorite classes in the whole ACI series. So see you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. Bye.